A woman who masters her daily habits masters her future. Greatness is not built in one dramatic moment. It is built in the quiet decisions made every single day. The quality of your life is hidden inside the routines you repeat when nobody is watching. Many women are waiting for confidence, waiting for opportunities, waiting for motivation, but transformation begins the moment you become intentional with your daily disciplines. A powerful woman is not merely defined by beauty, emotion, or talent. She is defined by wisdom, self-control, vision, and consistency. The world changes when a woman discovers her value and begins to live with purpose. Every habit you develop is either building your destiny or slowly destroying it. Your future home, your peace, your relationships, your finances, your influence, and your spiritual strength are all connected to the habits you practice today. The tragedy is that many women desire extraordinary lives while maintaining ordinary disciplines. Success is not attracted to wishes, it is attracted to preparation. You cannot live carelessly and expect to walk in greatness. Daily habits are the invisible architecture of a meaningful life. What you repeatedly do becomes who you eventually become. Today we are going to explore 10 daily habits every woman must master to become mentally strong, emotionally stable, spiritually grounded, and purpose-driven. These habits are not just for survival, they are for leadership, influence, and fulfillment. Discipline is one of the greatest forms of self-respect a woman can ever develop. It is the invisible force that separates a life filled with regret from a life filled with purpose and fulfillment. Many people admire successful women without understanding the private discipline that built them. Greatness is never accidental. Behind every confident woman, every peaceful woman, every impactful woman, there is a daily system of discipline shaping her decisions, her habits, and her mindset. A woman without discipline becomes controlled by emotions, distractions, and the opinions of people. She begins many things but finishes very little. She desires change but avoids the discomfort required for transformation. Discipline, however, gives a woman the power to govern herself instead of being governed by temporary feelings. It teaches her how to remain focused when motivation disappears. Motivation may inspire you for a moment, but discipline carries you through seasons when life becomes difficult. Many women are waiting to feel ready before they change their lives, but discipline does not wait for feelings. Discipline acts even when emotions are unstable. There will be mornings when you feel tired, discouraged, or unappreciated, but discipline says, continue anyway. There will be moments when giving up feels easier than growing, but discipline reminds you that your future is too valuable to abandon. Your destiny is not built in moments of comfort, it is built in moments of consistency. Self-discipline begins with controlling the mind. If a woman cannot control her thoughts, she will struggle to control her life. Negative thinking creates negative living. Fearful thinking creates fearful decisions. Undisciplined thinking causes confusion and insecurity. This is why a wise woman becomes intentional about what she listens to, what she watches, who she allows around her, and what she repeatedly tells herself. The mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant consistently will eventually grow. If you plant confidence, wisdom, and faith, your life will begin to reflect those seeds. But if you constantly feed your mind comparison, bitterness, gossip, and self-doubt, you will slowly weaken your own potential. Discipline also protects a woman from becoming a prisoner of emotional instability. Emotions are real, but they are not always reliable. Some women make decisions only based on how they feel in the moment. When they feel inspired, they work hard. When they feel discouraged, they quit. When they feel lonely, they settle for unhealthy relationships. When they feel insecure, they seek validation from people who do not truly value them. But a disciplined woman understands that feelings change constantly. She learns how to lead her emotions instead of being controlled by them. One of the greatest signs of maturity is the ability to delay temporary pleasure for long-term reward. Discipline teaches patience. It teaches a woman how to sacrifice short-term comfort to create a better future. Every meaningful achievement requires sacrifice. A strong marriage requires discipline. Financial stability requires discipline. Physical health requires discipline. Spiritual growth requires discipline. Confidence itself requires discipline because confidence is often built through repeated acts of courage and consistency. A disciplined woman also becomes trustworthy. People trust women who are consistent. Consistency creates stability, and stability creates influence. When a woman keeps her word, honors her responsibilities, and remains committed even during difficult seasons, she develops a reputation that opens doors for her future. Discipline gives birth to reliability, and reliability is rare in a world filled with excuses. The danger of living without discipline is that life slowly becomes controlled by chaos. Undisciplined habits may feel harmless in the beginning, but over time they produce frustration, anxiety, disappointment, and regret. Small, careless decisions repeated daily eventually create painful consequences. This is why discipline is not punishment, it is protection. It protects your peace, your future, your confidence, and your purpose. A disciplined woman does not need constant supervision because she has learned how to govern herself. She understands that freedom is not the ability to do anything you want. True freedom is having the wisdom and self-control to do what is right even when it is difficult. The strongest women are not those who simply talk about goals. The strongest women are those who wake up every day and continue building those goals with consistency. There is power in a woman who can control herself. There is power in a woman who refuses to let distractions destroy her focus. There is power in a woman who remains committed to growth even when nobody applauds her efforts. Discipline transforms ordinary women into extraordinary leaders because it builds strength from the inside out. Your future is being shaped by what you repeatedly do every day. Every disciplined decision is an investment in the woman you are becoming. The life you desire will require a higher version of you, and that version can only emerge through discipline. You cannot rise above the habits you refuse to change. The moment a woman masters herself, she becomes dangerous to limitation, fear, and mediocrity. Your daily routine is more powerful than your occasional decisions because destiny is never built in isolated moments. Destiny is built through repetition. Many women are praying for a different life while repeating the same habits that keep them trapped in frustration, confusion, and inconsistency. You cannot create a powerful future with careless daily patterns. Every morning you wake up, your habits are already shaping your tomorrow. Whether you realize it or not, your routine is constructing your future one decision at a time. A woman's life will always move in the direction of her strongest habits. If your habits are filled with distraction, emotional instability, procrastination, and negativity, those things will eventually appear in your relationships, finances, health, and confidence. But when your routine is built on discipline, wisdom, growth, and peace, your entire life begins to transform. The problem is that many people underestimate small actions because they are looking for instant results. They want dramatic change without daily commitment. Yet the greatest changes in life are usually invisible at first. A seed underground does not look powerful, but over time it becomes a tree. Every successful woman understands one important principle. What you repeatedly do matters more than what you occasionally do. One motivational moment cannot change your life if your routine remains undisciplined. You may attend conferences, watch inspiring videos, or read powerful books, but if your daily habits contradict your goals, inspiration will eventually fade. Your routine reveals your true priorities. It exposes what you truly value. If a woman wakes up every day without direction, she will spend her life reacting instead of leading. She will become controlled by emotions, circumstances, and the opinions of others. But when a woman becomes intentional about her daily structure, she begins to regain control over her life. She stops living accidentally and starts living purposefully. Purpose requires structure because vision without discipline eventually becomes disappointment. Many women do not fail because they lack talent. They fail because they lack consistency. Talent can open a door, but discipline keeps you in the room. There are gifted women who never fulfill their potential because they never mastered their routines. Success is not sustained by excitement. It is sustained by habits. The woman who learns to manage her mornings, her thoughts, her time, and her energy becomes dangerous to mediocrity. Your morning routine especially carries tremendous power because it sets the emotional atmosphere for your entire day. If your day begins with confusion, social media distractions, gossip, stress, or comparison, your mind becomes scattered before your purpose even has a chance to speak. But when you begin your day with prayer, reflection, planning, learning, and gratitude, you position yourself mentally and emotionally for strength. Peaceful mornings often create productive days. Another danger of an unhealthy routine is that it slowly destroys confidence. Confidence is not built merely by positive thinking. Confidence grows when you consistently keep promises to yourself. Every time you discipline yourself to wake up early, finish a task, control your emotions, study something valuable, or avoid destructive behavior, you strengthen your self-respect. Discipline creates evidence that you are capable of growth. But when you constantly betray your own goals through laziness or inconsistency, your self-esteem weakens. Your routine also determines the quality of your future relationships. A woman who spends no time developing emotional maturity, wisdom, communication, or healing will carry unnecessary pain into every relationship she enters. But a woman who intentionally works on herself daily becomes emotionally healthier and more stable. Healthy relationships are not built by chance. They are built by prepared people. Even financially, routines determine outcomes. Wealth is rarely created through random miracles. It is usually built through disciplined daily decisions. Saving money, learning skills, avoiding wasteful spending, and developing productive habits may appear small at first, but over time those habits completely change a person's life. Poverty is often connected to repeated poor decisions, while progress is connected to repeated wise decisions. The enemy of greatness is often not failure, but inconsistency. Many women start strong, but stop too soon because routines require patience. Success is not always exciting. Sometimes growth feels repetitive. Sometimes discipline feels uncomfortable. But the woman who continues despite discomfort eventually experiences transformation. Your future rewards are hidden inside your present discipline. You must understand that every day is training you for something. The question is whether your habits are training you for greatness or preparing you for regret. Every repeated action becomes part of your identity. If you continuously speak negatively, you become negative. If you continuously avoid responsibility, you become unreliable. If you continuously pursue wisdom and discipline, you become powerful. Habits eventually shape character, and character shapes destiny. A wise woman stops waiting for her life to magically improve. She understands that transformation begins with daily decisions. She stops asking only for opportunities and starts preparing herself for them. She knows that success is not built in public moments alone, but in private disciplines nobody sees. The truth is simple. The life you desire is hidden inside the routine you refuse to change. Once a woman masters her daily habits, she begins to master her future. One of the greatest strengths a woman can develop in her lifetime is emotional strength and inner peace. Without emotional stability, beauty becomes fragile, intelligence becomes ineffective, and talent becomes inconsistent. A woman may possess gifts, opportunities, and potential, but if her emotions constantly control her decisions, she will struggle to maintain peace, relationships, and purpose. Emotional strength is not about becoming cold, distant, or emotionless. It is about learning how to remain stable even when life becomes unpredictable. Inner peace is not the absence of problems, it is the presence of control within yourself despite the chaos around you. Many women have been taught to react emotionally to everything. Society often celebrates emotional impulsiveness while ignoring emotional maturity. But a wise woman understands that not every feeling deserves a reaction. Sometimes silence is wisdom. Sometimes walking away is strength. Sometimes self-control is greater than confrontation. Emotional strength means you no longer allow temporary feelings to produce permanent damage in your life. A mature woman does not allow anger to destroy relationships, insecurity to destroy confidence, or loneliness to destroy standards. One of the greatest enemies of inner peace is comparison. Many women lose joy because they constantly measure their lives against others. Social media has intensified this problem. Every day, people display edited versions of their lives, relationships, achievements, and appearances. A woman who constantly compares herself will eventually feel inadequate even when she is blessed. Comparison creates insecurity, jealousy, anxiety, and emotional exhaustion. Peace begins when a woman understands that her journey is unique. You were never designed to become another person. Your assignment, timing, gifts, and process are different. The moment you stop competing with others, you create room for confidence and contentment. Emotional strength also requires learning how to heal from past wounds. Many women carry silent pain from betrayal, rejection, abandonment, disappointment, or childhood trauma. Unhealed pain has a dangerous way of controlling present behavior. Sometimes people are not reacting to current situations, they are reacting to old wounds that were never addressed. A woman who refuses to heal will continue bleeding emotionally into healthy opportunities and relationships. Healing requires honesty. You cannot overcome what you refuse to confront. Inner peace begins when you stop pretending that everything is fine and start allowing yourself to grow through your pain instead of living trapped inside it. Another important part of emotional maturity is learning how to protect your energy. Not every battle deserves your attention. Not every criticism deserves your response. Some women become emotionally drained because they try to fix everyone, please everyone, and carry responsibilities that were never assigned to them. A peaceful woman understands boundaries. She knows when to disconnect from toxic conversations, unhealthy environments, and manipulative people. Protecting your peace is not selfish, it is necessary. Your emotional energy is valuable. If you constantly give it to negativity, drama, and conflict, you will eventually lose clarity and strength. A woman with emotional strength also develops patience. Patience is one of the highest forms of maturity because it reveals trust, wisdom, and self-control. Many people destroy good opportunities because they are impatient. They rush relationships, rush decisions, rush success, and rush healing. But powerful women understand that growth takes time. Inner peace grows when you stop forcing everything to happen according to your personal timeline. Some delays are not punishments, they are preparation. Patience protects you from emotional desperation and poor decisions. Another important lesson is learning how to separate your identity from your circumstances. Many women define themselves by relationships, failures, financial struggles, or the opinions of others. But your value does not decrease because of temporary difficulties. A breakup does not make you worthless. A mistake does not make you a failure. Rejection does not erase your purpose. Emotionally strong women understand that circumstances change, but identity must remain stable. Confidence built only on external things will collapse easily, but confidence rooted in purpose and self-awareness creates lasting peace. Inner peace also grows through gratitude. A grateful heart is harder to poison with negativity. Many women constantly focus on what is missing while ignoring what is already valuable in their lives. Gratitude changes perspective. It reminds you that life is not only about what you lost, but also about what you still possess. Peaceful women learn to appreciate growth, lessons, opportunities, health, wisdom, and even difficult seasons that produce strength inside them. Most importantly, emotional strength comes from mastering yourself daily. Every day you must choose wisdom over impulse, peace over drama, growth over bitterness, and purpose over distraction. Nobody accidentally becomes emotionally strong. It is developed through daily discipline, reflection, healing, and maturity. The strongest woman in the room is not always the loudest. Sometimes she is the calmest. She is the woman who has learned how to remain steady under pressure, wise during conflict, and peaceful in uncertain seasons. When a woman develops emotional strength and inner peace, everything in her life begins to change. Her decisions improve. Her confidence grows. Her relationships become healthier. Her mind becomes clearer. She no longer depends on external validation to feel valuable because she has discovered stability within herself. And once a woman discovers peace within herself, the world loses the power to easily control her emotions, distract her purpose, or steal her joy. Confidence is not something a woman wakes up with one morning. It is not makeup, clothing, attention, or applause from people. Real confidence is built through consistency. It grows every time a woman keeps a promise to herself. Many women are waiting to feel confident before they take action, but confidence is not the starting point. Action is the starting point. Discipline creates evidence, and evidence creates confidence. A woman becomes powerful when she realizes that confidence is not magic. It is the result of daily habits repeated over time. Every small victory strengthens the mind. Every disciplined decision teaches the spirit that it is capable of greater things. When a woman constantly abandons her goals, ignores her growth, and lives without structure, insecurity begins to grow because deep inside she no longer trusts herself. But the moment she starts showing up consistently, even in small ways, something begins to change within her. Confidence is built when you wake up and honor your commitments even when you do not feel motivated. Feelings are unreliable leaders. Some days you will feel strong and some days you will feel tired, discouraged, or uncertain. But disciplined habits teach you how to move beyond emotions. A woman who depends only on feelings will live inconsistently, but a woman who develops routines becomes stable and dependable. Stability creates inner strength. One of the greatest enemies of confidence is comparison. Social media has caused many women to measure their worth against other people's highlights. They compare beauty, relationships, money, success, and lifestyles without understanding the hidden struggles behind what they see. Comparison slowly destroys identity because it shifts focus away from personal growth. A confident woman understands that her assignment is unique. She does not waste energy trying to become someone else. Instead, she focuses on becoming the best version of herself every day. Confidence also grows when a woman develops competence. The more knowledge, wisdom, and skill you gain, the more secure you become in your abilities. Ignorance often produces fear because people fear what they do not understand. But preparation removes insecurity. When a woman studies, learns, practices, and improves herself consistently, she walks differently because she knows she is prepared. Excellence creates quiet confidence. You do not need to announce your value when your discipline already reveals it. Many women struggle with self-doubt because they spend too much time listening to negative voices. Words are powerful. If a woman constantly speaks failure over herself, she will begin to believe it. The mind obeys repeated language. This is why daily affirmations, prayer learning, and positive environments matter. You cannot constantly consume negativity and expect confidence to grow. Your inner conversation shapes your identity. A wise woman speaks life over herself even during difficult seasons. Confidence is also built through overcoming challenges. Easy lives rarely produce strong people. Every difficulty carries an opportunity for growth. Many women underestimate how much strength they have because they focus more on their pain than their progress. The fact that you survive difficult seasons means there is resilience within you. Trials can either break you or train you. The difference is perspective. A confident woman does not see obstacles as proof of weakness. She sees them as opportunities to develop endurance, wisdom, and maturity. Another important truth is that confidence does not mean perfection. Many women delay their dreams because they are afraid of making mistakes. They want every detail to be perfect before they begin. But perfectionism often becomes a prison. Growth requires movement. Failure is not the opposite of success, it is part of success. Every successful woman has experienced rejection, embarrassment, mistakes, and setbacks. The difference is that they refuse to stop moving forward. Confidence grows when you realize that failure cannot destroy you unless you surrender to it. Healthy habits also play a major role in confidence. When a woman takes care of her mind, body, and spirit, she naturally feels stronger. Discipline in health, appearance, learning, finances, and emotional control creates dignity and self-respect. Confidence is difficult to maintain when your life is controlled by chaos and neglect. But when you begin organizing your habits, your environment, and your priorities, your mind becomes clearer and your spirit becomes stronger. Confidence is not loud arrogance. Truly confident women do not need to dominate every room or seek attention constantly. Real confidence is calm. It is secure. It does not compete unnecessarily because it understands its value. A confident woman can celebrate others without feeling threatened because she is no longer at war with herself. She understands that another woman's success is not proof of her own failure. Every day, a woman must make choices that strengthen her identity instead of weakening it. Confidence is built privately before it is revealed publicly. The hidden disciplines matter. The books you read matter. The thoughts you entertain matter. The people you allow around you matter. The routines you practice matter. Every consistent action is shaping the woman you are becoming. Never underestimate the power of small daily improvements. A woman who commits herself to growth every day may not notice immediate transformation, but over time she becomes emotionally stronger, mentally sharper, spiritually wiser, and deeply confident. Consistency changes the way you see yourself. The moment you realize that you can trust yourself to remain disciplined, your confidence will rise to another level. That is the power of consistent habits. One of the most important disciplines a woman can develop is the ability to protect her mind, energy, and purpose. Many women are physically alive but mentally exhausted because they allow too many unnecessary influences into their lives. Your mind is the gateway to your destiny. Whatever repeatedly enters your mind eventually shapes your beliefs, your emotions, your confidence, and your decisions. If you do not intentionally guard your inner world, the outside world will eventually control it for you. A woman who does not protect her mind becomes vulnerable to fear, insecurity, confusion, comparison, and emotional instability. Every day, society is constantly sending messages that try to define a woman's worth by appearance, popularity, relationships, or public approval. If a woman is not mentally grounded, she will spend her life chasing validation instead of discovering purpose. This is why protecting your mind is not optional. It is necessary for survival and growth. You must learn to be careful about what you listen to, what you watch, and who you allow to speak into your life. Words are seeds. Conversations are seeds. Music is a seed. Environments are seeds. Every seed eventually produces fruit in your thinking. Many women are struggling emotionally not because they are weak, but because they have been feeding their minds with negativity every day. You cannot constantly consume gossip, drama, toxic opinions, and destructive influences and still expect to maintain peace within yourself. A wise woman becomes selective with information. She understands that not everything deserves her attention. One of the greatest forms of maturity is learning what to ignore. Every battle is not your battle. Every opinion is not your responsibility. Every criticism does not deserve a response. Protecting your peace sometimes means refusing to entertain distractions that are trying to pull you away from your purpose. Your energy is also valuable. Energy is life. Wherever your energy flows, your future follows. Many women become emotionally drained because they spend too much time trying to rescue people who refuse to change, pleasing people who are never satisfied, or maintaining relationships that constantly produce stress and confusion. There are people who only know how to take from you without ever pouring strength back into you. If you are not careful, you will spend years emotionally exhausted because you never learned healthy boundaries. A powerful woman understands that boundaries are not selfish, they are necessary. You cannot continue giving access to people who dishonor your peace. Every time you ignore your own emotional health to satisfy others, you slowly abandon yourself. Some women are afraid to say no because they fear rejection, conflict, or loneliness. But wisdom teaches you that saying yes to everything eventually destroys your focus and weakens your purpose. There are moments in life when you must step away from environments that constantly drain your spirit. Not every place deserves your presence. Not every friendship deserves your loyalty. Not every relationship deserves your sacrifice. You must develop the courage to separate yourself from anything that repeatedly damages your confidence, steals your joy, or distracts you from becoming the woman you were created to be. Purpose requires protection because purpose attracts distractions. The moment a woman begins to grow, become disciplined, and pursue her calling, distractions will appear. Some distractions come in the form of unhealthy relationships. Others come in the form of fear, procrastination, comfort, or emotional attachment to the past. Many women delay their own greatness because they keep returning to environments that no longer align with their future. You must understand that not everyone will understand your growth. Sometimes protecting your purpose means disappointing people who benefited from your lack of boundaries. When you begin changing, some people will call you distant, difficult, or selfish simply because you stopped allowing them to misuse your time and energy. But growth requires separation. You cannot elevate your life while remaining emotionally attached to everything that weakens you. A focused woman learns how to protect her mornings, her thoughts, her routines, and her goals. She creates moments of silence because silence strengthens clarity. She spends time learning because wisdom sharpens vision. She avoids constant chaos because confusion weakens decision-making. She becomes intentional about the people around her because environments influence identity. Protecting your purpose also means refusing to compare your journey with others. Comparison is one of the fastest ways to destroy confidence. Every woman has a different assignment, a different pace, and a different process. Some people bloom early while others bloom later. Do not dishonor your journey because someone else appears ahead of you. Your responsibility is not to compete with another woman's destiny. Your responsibility is to become the highest version of yourself. A woman who masters her mind, energy, and purpose becomes emotionally powerful. She stops reacting to everything. She stops begging for acceptance. She stops allowing distractions to control her life. Instead, she becomes intentional, focused, peaceful, and disciplined. She understands that her future is too valuable to be wasted on confusion and emotional chaos. Your life is precious. Your mind is precious. Your energy is precious. Your purpose is precious. Protect them carefully because anything valuable always requires protection. A woman of vision does not live according to emotions alone. She lives according to purpose. One of the greatest tragedies in life is to possess potential but never develop the wisdom to use it. Vision is the ability to see beyond your current condition and recognize the future that is hidden within you. Every great woman who changed her family, her environment, or her generation first saw something greater inside herself before the world ever recognized it. Vision is powerful because it gives direction to your life. Without vision, people drift through life reacting to circumstances instead of creating meaningful change. Many women are exhausted not because they are weak, but because they are living without clear direction. When purpose is absent, distractions become attractive. When vision is absent, temporary pleasures begin to control permanent decisions. A woman must understand that she was not created merely to survive from day to day. She was created to contribute, to influence, to build, to nurture, to lead, and to leave an impact on the lives around her. Purpose gives meaning to your daily routine. It transforms ordinary actions into investments toward a greater future. Wisdom is what protects vision from destruction. Vision without wisdom creates frustration because dreams alone are not enough. A wise woman understands timing, patience, discipline, and discernment. She does not rush every opportunity simply because it looks attractive. She studies situations carefully. She listens more than she speaks. She understands that every decision carries consequences. Wisdom allows a woman to recognize what belongs in her life and what must be removed from it. One of the greatest signs of wisdom is self-control. A woman who cannot control her emotions, words, or desires will constantly sabotage her own future. Wisdom teaches you that not every battle deserves your energy. Not every opinion deserves your response. Not every invitation deserves your attention. There is power in restraint. There is power in silence. There is power in knowing when to walk away from situations that threaten your peace and purpose. A woman of influence also understands the importance of character. Influence is not merely popularity. True influence is the ability to inspire trust, respect, and positive transformation in others. Many people seek attention, but attention without character is dangerous. Your influence is strongest when your private life matches your public image. Integrity gives power to your words. Discipline gives credibility to your advice. People are inspired more by what you consistently do than by what you occasionally say. Every woman must understand that leadership begins within. Before you can effectively influence others, you must first govern yourself. Your habits, your mindset, your reactions, and your values shape the atmosphere around you. A woman who carries peace can calm a troubled environment. A woman who carries wisdom can bring clarity into confusion. A woman who carries confidence can uplift those who feel broken. Influence is not always loud. Sometimes the strongest influence comes from consistency, kindness, wisdom, and quiet strength. Another important truth is that vision requires sacrifice. You cannot become extraordinary while remaining committed to comfort. Every meaningful dream demands discipline. There will be moments when you must choose growth over convenience. You may have to distance yourself from environments that limit your potential. You may need to release toxic relationships, unhealthy habits, and negative thinking patterns. Growth often feels uncomfortable because transformation requires change. But every sacrifice made for purpose eventually produces reward. A wise woman also learns the value of patience. Society teaches people to desire instant success, instant recognition, and instant results. But lasting greatness is built slowly. Trees with the deepest roots survive the strongest storms. Do not become discouraged if your progress feels slow. Every day of discipline is preparing you for opportunities you cannot yet see. The process matters because it develops maturity, endurance, and strength within you. You must also guard your confidence carefully. Confidence is not pretending to be perfect. Confidence is trusting the value that God placed within you. Many women lose their voice because they spend too much time comparing themselves to others. Comparison destroys peace because it shifts your focus away from your own assignment. Your journey is unique. Your gifts are unique. Your purpose is unique. Stop measuring your worth against people who were never designed to walk your path. A woman of vision understands that her life is bigger than appearances, opinions, or temporary trends. She invests in her mind, her spirit, and her future. She wakes up each day with intentionality. She speaks with wisdom because she understands the power of words. She walks with dignity because she knows her value. She carries responsibility because she understands that people are watching her example. The world desperately needs women who are wise, disciplined, compassionate, and purpose-driven. Women who build instead of destroy. Women who encourage instead of compete. Women who think deeply, live intentionally, and influence positively. Your presence should bring light into dark places, hope into broken situations, and stability into confusion. Never underestimate the impact one focused and disciplined woman can have. Entire families can change because one woman decided to pursue wisdom. Entire communities can improve because one woman refused to surrender her purpose. History repeatedly proves that when a woman discovers her vision and commits herself to growth, she becomes a force that can transform generations.